and today we got a Super 17 deck profile. The reason I wanted to make Super 17 is because, you know, we did get the anniversary box and Android got a little bit more support. So I wanted to make, you know, the ultimate Android deck, and I think the ultimate Android in, you know, the anime is Super 17. You know, he's the only Super Android that there is, and he's so darn powerful in the anime and, you know, in the card game as well. So let's get straight to it. I do not want to waste any more of you guys' super time, but we got Android 17. What he does is he has burst 2. So that means when he attacks, right? So when this guy attacks, you know, you attack, you have to drop 2 cards from the top of your deck in the drop area. That's the burst effect. And you draw a card. So every time this guy attacks, you have to drop 2 cards from the top of your deck. And that does cause some randomness to, you know, come apart into this deck. But it's all good. You want cards in your, you know, in the drop area with this deck anyways, and I'll, you know, explain why. And when you are at 4 lives or less, you go from, you know, the 17 to gold. Look at that. That looks hella sick. Super 17, the entwined. And this guy is freaking crispy looking. Look at that. Look at that. Artwork top notch. And he's also a very powerful leader. So now he has Sparking 5, meaning when you have 5 in the drop, he automatically gains critical and you draw a card. So that's not bad at all. So this guy is like staying true to the hand destruction, and when he deals damage, your opponent isn't gonna be, you know, getting any hand advantage from the life they take. And he has an activate main. If your opponent has 10 or more cards in their hand, your opponent must place cards from their hand in the drop area until they have 9 cards. So if your opponent somehow has like 20 cards in hand, you could use his ability and make them drop until they only have 9. And that ability is freaking strong. You never know. There could be a deck out there that just has a big fat hand, and, you know, Android 17 will come and just destroy that deck. So that's the leader. So, you know, first off, we're starting off with the guy that built the androids, Dr. Gero. He's going to be our 1-drop. He's going to be our ideal 1-turn play. So we could get a 5k body on the field and a 5k combo power to, you know, survive right after. Picks up the top 3, lets you add an android among them to your hand, then you shuffle the deck. Very awesome ability, because in this deck you're gonna need the specific android in order to do a play. So I added Dr. Gero because he's very necessary in this deck, in my opinion, because you need to get the pieces. Androids work in pieces just like machines. You know, you gotta get all the pieces. So we got Android 17, the endless beast right here, and what he does is he has burst 3, meaning when he attacks, when this guy attacks, you're forced to drop 3 cards from the top of your deck. But it's okay. Not only are you going to be able to fulfill your sparking ability like very quickly, you're also giving him a 5k boost and critical attack power. So this guy is staying true to the, you know, hand like manipulation and hand control. So you're gonna want to use a lot of critical attacks onto your opponent so that they don't, you know, plus off of their life. So we are gonna be running 3 of these. Okay, we're just running 3 of these because he's good, but too many of them will make your deck out too quickly. Then we got Energy Guard Android 17, one of the best Android 17s in my opinion. You play him for 3 energies. Not only is he a blocker, when you attack at the end of the turn, he goes back to active mode and he's ready to, you know, defend an attack. Very useful blocker. 15k pressure consistency. So this guy is a beast, and the reason we have so many 17s is because, you know, this is a Super 17 deck, and you do need a 17 in order to make this guy actually deal some damage. So we're running for the other 17. So this 17, the Hellfighter 17, this is the GT 17, the evil one. And what this guy does is he's barrier, so he's not going to be able to be killed. You play him for 3 energies, and then you get to use the Union Union Absorb, not Fusion, sorry about that. Union Absorb ability, so you absorb a 17 that happens to be in your hand or drop area, and you know, since you're bursting with the Leader's Unawaken ability, you're bursting with the 17, you're gonna have at least one of the 17s in your drop area in order to, you know, Union Absorb from the drop, get the 17 that's in your drop, put it under this card, and you're able to play you know, Super 17 from your deck or drop area, which is good. So we're running 4 of these because this allows us to bring out this 17 from the anniversary box. Look at that, looks hella crispy. Look at that, super sweet. And what Super 17 does is, well, he has a permanent skill that this card's attack cannot be negated. So when he attacks, you're going in with a double strike because he's a double strike, non-negatable beast. And when he comes into play, you get to choose to activate his ability that you can place 2 cards from your hand in the drop, then your opponent's forced to drop 2 from their hand and put it in the drop as well. So you're able to Union Absorb into this guy, which is very, very good because this is the other, you know, alternative art. Like, this is the original art, this is the alternative foil. Which one do you guys think is cooler? You know, hit it up in the comment section below. So we're running just 2 of those, and this is another 4-drop Super 17 you could, you know, Union Absorb into with the Hellfighter. And this guy is freaking good. He's a removal. When he comes into play, you pop a battle card on your opponent's side of the field, so you KO something, and he's barrier, and then if he survives on the field, which since he has barrier, he's most likely gonna survive, for 4 energies, you're able to, you know, Union Absorb, get a cell, so I don't know why I couldn't say that, a cell from your drop area or hand, and put it under this card for Union Absorb, and you're able to, you know, bring out a 17, a Super 17 with an energy cost of 6 from your deck or drop area, and I'll show you what the beast is. So this guy, you know, once you absorb the cell, you know, he's gonna turn into, boom, Super 17 cell absorbed. Look at that, guys, looks hella tight. So this is, you know, the ultimate form of, you know, Super 17. He has absorbed cell, so he is perfected in, you know, in a way, and he is freaking strong. Not only does he have critical, so he deals critical damage, he has dual attack, so he attacks twice with a critical attack, and on top of that, he has deflect, meaning you cannot cold bloodlust this guy, and he has Sparking 10. When you have 10 in the drop, which you will usually have by the time you bring this guy out, because, you know, your leader has burst and whatnot. When he comes out, every time he attacks, your opponent has to choose 2 cards from their hand and place it in the drop area. So when he attacks, not only is it a critical attack going through, your opponent's forced to drop 2 cards from their hand, he restands, and then you attack again, and they're forced to drop 2 more cards from their hand, and it's another critical attack. This guy is freaking good as heck. Freaking awesome ability right here. So you could go into this guy for, you know, to make a big play, and that's pretty much one of our biggest finishers. And here's the cell that you're gonna want to absorb with the Super 17, and this is a super combo, 10k boost, and draw a card. Very useful card right there. I'm running 4 of these because you definitely want to have at least one of these in the drop in order to do that ability. And then, you know, the anniversary box, we're gonna get some little help. You know, we got Cell in here, we got 17s, we're gonna add some 13 into the mix. The Cowboy, he's come back for vengeance onto Goku, and this guy is, you know, out here with his trucker hat, and he's gonna freaking do some damage from the anniversary box. If you guys have not seen the anniversary box opening, go check it out. We're gonna be doing a giveaway, so you guys want to go like, comment, and subscribe, and you know, share that video for a chance to enter and win yourself an anniversary box where this card comes from. And this card is freaking good. So when he comes into play, he has also Union Absorb, and you absorb a 14 and 15. I got mixed up with my numbers. 14 and 15, and Android 14 and 15 from your drop area, and you place them under this card, and you're able to play Android's 13, the super rare, from your hand on top of this card. Unfortunately, you could only play one of these guys onto the field at once. So you cannot have more than one of these and just spam the field. So this guy's Union Absorb. You get the 14 and 15 under this card from your drop, and you're able to play the super rare. And we're running 4 of these because you definitely want to see this. And Dr. Giro is going to help us get all these pieces to our hand. And here are the 14 and 15 that you want to get. This card counts as both. So, you know, in order to fulfill the requirement for this guy's Union Absorb, you only need one of these guys in the drop area. And unfortunately, we cannot use his effect to like put him in the drop and draw a card. But it's still, you know, you just want to have him in the drop area in order to be able to Union Absorb. Once you absorb these guys from the drop area, and the 13 gets the pieces, you become the, you know, full orange hair Super Saiyan orange. Orange, or whatever. This guy's freaking beast. So let's zoom into this guy. This guy's freaking beast. So what does this guy do? Well, let me tell you what he does. He's a double strike, and when he comes into the field, he also KOs a battle card, and whenever your opponent is forced to discard a card from their hand due to your special skills, or like whenever a card goes into the drop area due to your skills, so like by a critical attack or by hand destruction with the cell, with the Super Cell 17, your opponent's forced to drop 1 extra card every single time. And having this guy onto the field is gonna freaking consistently make your opponent try to like discard their, like, you're gonna discard their entire hand. Especially if you have this duo right here. This guy attacks, they're forced to discard 2. This guy's ability triggers, they're forced to discard some more. You know, this guy is just a beast finisher, 30k discarding beast monster finisher, Kaduke. This guy's just freaking good. I don't even know what to say anymore. Like, we're running 3 of these because you definitely want to bring him out. He's another big threat your opponent has to deal with if you don't go the 17 route. Or if you manage to bring both out, you're in the clear for sure. And then I added Hyperspeed Son Goku. The reason I added this card is because he is our awakening piece. Just in case, you know, your opponent is stalling you out for some reason, which I don't understand why they would, because you're going to just build a big old board. If your opponent stalls you out, you're going to definitely be able to bring out the Cell, the Super 17 Cell, and the Super 13. And this card is very good. Pick up 2 cards from your life when he comes into play, and he gains 15k power and critical. Very awesome card for consistent critical action. We're running 2 of these because I felt 2 is enough. Usually, you know, your opponent will, if they stall you out, then they're gonna pretty much suffer the consequences. But you know, being able to self-awaken when you want to is also very useful. Then we got Android 16, also searchable by the Dr. Giro, the 1-drop, so it's a searchable super combo. And on top of that, if you combo this card, your opponent discards 1 card from their hand, and you know, you could trigger the Super 13's ability. Very awesome freaking skill right here with the Android 13. All the androids are synchronized, and I added defensive stance SS Vegeta for our other super combo, so I'm doing a 2-2 split. And the reason I added this card over the Paragus is because it's a Sparking 5 card. You're able to use it even unawakened, so I feel like you need this Sparking card. It's like an active super combo, usually by turn 2 if you do it right. So we have 2 of those. And then Shocking Death Ball, you know, you could also just self-awaken by activating the Sparking ability, which you will have very quickly with your leader burst effect and, you know, the 17's burst effect. So we're running 4 of these. And, you know, I added Android 20 because it's also searchable by Dr. Giro's the 1-drop. And it's automatic grant double strike to any Android card. Our entire deck is pretty much Android, so you can just 1 energy gains a 5k combo power and double strike, and an ability to give it an extra 5k boost. So it's pretty much a double strike going for game, just in case you need it. Searchable. And an Android, you could double strike MIRA going late game. Once it's like the end of the game and you need one final push, we got MIRA in here. Not only does it gain power equal to all the cards that you warp, usually you're gonna have a fat stack at the end game, and this guy's power is just gonna be ridiculously high, like 100 something thousand. You attack with it, and you can also, if your opponent has 2 lives, add a double strike android, because he is considered an android, and it's a big heavy final double strike finisher move. Beautiful right there. And it's also searchable because it is an android. And I added Fu, 1 Fu, 2 overwhelm cards, just 2 final pushes with the overwhelm, and it's Fu, the Dark Banisher. Freaking sick right here. This guy comes into play 4 energies, warp 8. You're usually gonna have that many if you go either the MIRA version, like to finish him off with overwhelm, or the Fu. Either way, you're gonna finish your opponent off. This guy is guaranteed more hand destruction every time he attacks. Not only does he have triple attack, so he can attack 3 freaking times, he's 25k power, and on top of that, he's forcing your opponent to warp 1 card from their hand every time they use a skill. So if it's late game, they have 2 lives, you bring them out, you attack, they use a negate, they warp 1 card out of their hand. If you're playing the deck right, your opponent usually has low hand advantage, and this guy's just gonna finish him off for sure. And that's gonna be it. Like, comment, subscribe for future DBS TCG videos. And that's my Android Super 17 deck. I think it's freaking powerful. I can't wait to take it to a tournament and, you know, test it out. And like we always say, y'all stay super.